Today, it's Weej's dream team versus DeansWorld's dream team. Weej is a huge New York Jets fan, and he has been making incredible football content on his YouTube channel. His dream team will feature his favorite current and former NFL players. On the other side, we have DeansWorld, and his favorite NFL team is the Green Bay Packers. If you've watched any NFL imperialism video on YouTube, then you definitely know who he is, and his dream team will consist of his favorite current and former NFL players. Both teams will battle it out through a collection of challenges and minigames, practice mode, franchise mode, and a head-to-head matchup to decide the ultimate dream team.
So if I'm building a dream team, I gotta start with my favorite player of all time, Aaron Rodgers. He might not have been good when he played for my favorite team. I was lucky enough though to see an Aaron Rodgers Hail Mary live in person when they played on Monday Night Football against the Bills, but the rest of the season was just a nightmare. Anyway, moving on to running back, I gotta go with two of the best of all time, LaDainian Tomlinson and Curtis Martin. I'm lucky enough to even have a signed Curtis Martin helmet. You're gonna notice a trend with some of my picks. At fullback, give me Tony Richardson, and I think my team needs a killer tight end duo, so we're gonna reunite Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. At left tackle, I got DeBrickashaw Ferguson, left guard Alan Faneca, center Nick Mangold, right guard Marshall Yanda, and right tackle Jonathan Ogden. And to round out my offense at wide receiver, we're going all Hall of Famers with Randy Moss, Jerry Rice, Terrell Owens, and Marvin Harrison. And I think our offense is pretty killer, and I think we need to match that energy on defense, so we're starting out at middle linebacker with Ray Lewis, Luke Kuechly, and Jonathan Vilma. At outside linebacker, we got Micah Parsons, Junior Seau, and Sean Merriman, which I gotta say, Sean is like the nicest dude. We used to work out together at the same gym in Hollywood, and he was just so sick to talk to about football. At defensive tackle, we got Aaron Donald and Warren Sapp. On the edge, we got JJ Watt, Michael Strahan, and Jason Taylor. I got two of the hardest hitters at safety with Ed Reed and Sean Taylor. And at corner, we're gonna pair up Darrell Revis and Sauce Gardner alongside Deion Sanders and Rod Woodson. And to round out my team, we got Shane Leckler at punter and Adam Vinatieri at kicker. And honestly, just looking at my roster, there is no way Dean's team stands any chance.
How's it going, Adam and viewers? Thank you for inviting me on today to build my DeansWorld dream team. Let's start with our quarterback, one of the most accurate passers of all time, the gunslinger. He's a bad man. I'm talking about Aaron Rodgers. Now our running game, we'll start with our first running back. This was a player I hated watching 2 times a year play against the Packers. It's going to be Adrian Peterson. Now we need someone to complement him, someone who's a heavy runner, a wear and tear runner, Marshawn Lynch. For the fullback, we're going to stay in the Packers trend. We're going to take John Kuhn. Let's get the tight ends, and I don't care if he's only played 1 year in the NFL. Give me Brock Bowers. Now we have a pass catching tight end. I want a pass blocking tight end, one of the greatest to ever do it in his prime, Mercedes Lewis. Our first receiver is a deep threat bully. This dude has pictures of him getting double teamed, Calvin Johnson. Our second receiver, I want someone who's good off the line with a very quick release. Hold up a second, I have him on my wall too. I'm talking about Devontae Adams. Now let's go to a receiver who's great in the slot. Someone who can turn a 5-yard slant into a 50-yard touchdown. It's going to be Larry Fitzgerald. For our fourth and final receiver, I want somebody who can just burn the secondary. Give me Tyreek Hill with his amazing speed. And I'll quickly read off the offensive line of some players I like. Left tackle, Trent Williams. Left guard, Quentin Nelson. Center, Jeff Saturday. Right guard, Zach Martin. And right tackle, Penei Sewell. On to defense. Let's talk about our defensive tackles. His nickname is Refrigerator. Give me William Perry, the Chicago Bears. Another player who haunted the Green Bay Packers on defensive tackle I'll take will be Ndamukong Suh. On to our defensive ends, give me who I think is the greatest defensive player of all time in the NFL, Reggie White. And for the other defensive ends, give me some more modern players who are up there as well, Myles Garrett and Max Crosby. Our middle linebackers, I picked just the best combination possible. We'll start with Brian Urlacher. And the second greatest defensive player of all time, Lawrence Taylor. For our outside linebackers, give me TJ Watt, the great Ray Lewis, and the great but also late Junior Seau. Rest in peace. Moving to our cornerbacks, another Green Bay Packer. Do you notice a trend at all? We're going with Charles Woodson. Our second cornerback, this dude has the nickname Revis Island for great reasons, Darrell Revis. Third cornerback, have to be another Georgia boy. It's going to be Champ Bailey. And the fourth cornerback, I'm only selecting him because I want him to stay in Green Bay. Please stay, Jair Alexander. And to close it out with our safeties, I need someone hard hitting in the secondary with Troy Polamalu. We'll also include another safety, and it's got to be Weapon X, Brian Dawkins. And to finally close it out with some special team players, starting with our kicker, we'll go with Mason Crosby. Enjoy your retirement. And for our punter, it's got to be internet personality Pat McAfee. Sometimes I forget this dude played football. So yeah, that's my dream team. Best of luck to my opponent, and go get them, boys.
Both teams are absolutely stacked with talent, but let me know down below in the comments which team you are rooting for. Starting with the passing skeleton minigame as a first challenge, and whichever team finishes with the most points will win this challenge. Aaron Rodgers and the rest of Weeja's dream team are up first, and he throws a great corner route to Jerry Rice, and he scores on the very first play. He then went right back to Rice on a zig route, and on the very next play, he threw another great pass over the middle for another touchdown. This has been a great start for Weej and his dream team. He continued to make the right reads, and with just under 30 seconds left on the timer, none of his receivers could get any separation, and Rodgers throws an interception, resetting the multiplier. After that, Rodgers struggled a little, but still managed to find Curtis Martin underneath for a touchdown. One last play, Rodgers quickly throws a touchdown pass, and Weeja's dream team finishes with 7,754 points. DeansWorld and his dream team are up next, and on the very first play, Rodgers throws a quick pass underneath to Marshawn Lynch, who is tackled pretty quickly. On the next play, he stays calm in the pocket and throws a great pass to Davante Adams for a nice gain, and he then followed it up with a quick pass to Calvin Johnson for the touchdown. After that, DeansWorld and his dream team continue to make great play after great play, and with under 30 seconds to go, he finds Adams once again on a slant route, barely hanging on to the ball. That then led to a quick Marshawn Lynch touchdown, and with that touchdown, DeansWorld just needs to play it safe and come out with a victory here. And even though Rodgers missed a wide open pass, DeansWorld and his dream team managed to finish with 10,179 points, which was good enough to win the passing skeleton minigame. The next challenge is the punt return, and whichever team finishes the most yards on 5 attempts will win. DeansWorld and his dream team will start first this time, and Tyreek Hill receives a punt around his own 20-yard line, but is met pretty quickly, only picking up 5 yards. On his very next attempt, the blocking doesn't really hold up much, and Tyreek Hill was tackled after a 6-yard gain. On his third attempt, Tyreek Hill receives the kick, but is stopped shortly after for another 5 yards. This has not been a great start for DeansWorld, and Adrian Pearson will take the next 2 attempts. First, going straight up the middle, breaking 1 tackle and picking up 8 yards. One last attempt for DeansWorld and his dream team, but AP has nowhere to go, only gaining 3 yards for a grand total of 27 yards. Deion Sanders and Weeja's dream team are up next, and on attempt 1, Deion manages to pick up 5 yards. On his very next attempt though, Deion is able to break off 1 tackle and is still going, gaining 10 yards. On his third and final attempt, he is met pretty quick by a defender, but still managed to fall forward for 8 yards. Randy Moss will take the last 2 attempts for Weej, and on his first return, he falls forward for about 7 yards. And at this point, as long as Moss doesn't lose 4 yards, they should win this challenge, and he just holds onto the ball tight and goes down right after picking up 4 yards for a grand total of 34 yards. Weej and his dream team go on to win the punt return challenge, and we are now tied at 1. Next up is the goal line phase challenge, where 3 receivers on both teams go one-on-one with the opposing team's best corner. Let's see if Weej and his dream team can continue rolling here, and on attempt 1, Rodgers throws one up to Randy Moss, but Charles Woodson is right there to knock the ball away. On attempt 2, Moss does get a step on Woodson and makes a jumping catch for the touchdown. Jerry Rice gets his 2 attempts now, and he somehow makes a great catch for the touchdown. Unfortunately, on his next attempt, Woodson completely locks him up. Terrell Owens is up next, and on attempt 5, he could not get any separation on Woodson, and the ball goes incomplete. With just 2 touchdowns so far, can T.O. get a Weej another one? Nope, Woodson is right there to knock the ball away, and they only end up finishing with just 2 touchdowns on 6 attempts. DeansWorld and his dream team are up next. Evan Johnson beats the man coverage and makes a great catch for the touchdown. On attempt 2 though, Revis stays right there with him and swats the ball away. This has been a tough battle so far for both dream teams, and Davante Adams gets his chance here. Barely beating Revis, but the ball was thrown perfectly and he was able to make the touchdown catch. All tied up now, just need 1 more to win this challenge, but Revis says not so fast as Rodgers overthrows the pass. It all comes down to Larry Fitzgerald to win it here for DeansWorld, but on attempt 5, he cannot catch up to the pass and it drops to the ground. One last try, Fitz shows off his quick feet. Rodgers lobs one up to the back of the end zone and it's caught! After a quick replay review, Larry Fitzgerald does indeed keep both feet in bounds, and DeansWorld's dream team managed to get their 3 touchdowns to win the goal line fades challenge. Next up, we have the franchise challenge. Whichever team makes it the furthest in the season will win this challenge. After simming the entire regular season, both dream teams finished with a perfect 17-0 record. Both teams finished at the top of their conferences and now have a first round bye heading into the playoffs. And after simming to the end of the season, it was Weeja's dream team who came out on top, winning the franchise challenge, and now this competition is tied at 2. The tiebreaker challenge is a head-to-head matchup played on a neutral playing field. Which dream team will come out on top? On DeansWorld's opening drive, Rodgers misses the receiver on first down. He didn't let that affect his confidence as he immediately finds Larry Fitzgerald, who managed to get wide open, and he's off to the races. And DeansWorld is on the board first. Let's see if Weej can draw something up for his dream team, and on their opening possession, Rodgers uses his legs to pick up a first down. On the very next play, Rodgers hands it off to LT and he finds a hole and takes it down the field for about 34 yards. In the red zone, Rodgers steps back in the pocket and throws a beam to Randy Moss to tie this game right back up. Just before the first quarter came to an end, DeansWorld's dream team was marching down the field. On first down, Rodgers throws a great pass to Davante Adams, who is then able to take it the rest of the way to retake the lead. And just when it looked like Weeja's dream team was going to answer right back, Rodgers decides to throw to the end zone instead of taking the check down, and the ball is knocked away. After skipping ahead to the second half, DeansWorld's dream team leads by just 4 points. Early in the second half, Weeja's dream team came out strong, picking up a couple first downs, but Rodgers ended up getting sacked on third down, and they ended up settling for a field goal. But that didn't stop DeansWorld's dream team at all. First down after first down until he finds Larry Fitzgerald in the end zone. After Weeja's dream team failed to put up any points on their next possession, DeansWorld's dream team can extend their lead, and Brock Bowers makes a great catch in the red zone. Rodgers goes right back to Bowers, and DeansWorld's dream team now lead by 15 points. Even though Weeja's dream team managed to score a touchdown, their defense was having a really tough time coming up with a stop. And after a big catch by Davante Adams, it looks like DeansWorld can put this game away. First and goal here, Marshawn Lynch takes the handoff and easily punches in for a touchdown. And DeansWorld's dream team go on to win the head-to-head matchup and ultimately win this entire competition. I want to give a huge shout out to both Weej and DeansWorld for putting together their all-time dream teams for this video. So make sure to go and show their channel some love. And if you enjoyed this video, you definitely want to click on this one right over here. I think you'll really enjoy it.